Hi there. In this video, we're going to load an image into P5. So this is an image that you have saved as a file on your computer already. So if you haven't gotten to that point, get to that point, and then this video will take it from there. So here I am in a new P5 canvas, and when I run, I get the basic blank canvas. And so first, let's just get our image file into P5 first. So you have this P5 editor, and this little arrow button right here that I click opens up the list of files associated with this sketch. And if you haven't opened this up before, you'll see that there are a couple other files in here. So far, you've only been working in the sketch.js file, probably. But we want to get one more file in here now, which is that image file you have saved to your computer. So to load a file into here, you need to push this little down arrow right here. So I'll push that and then go to upload file. Now I can click to use the file browser or drag and drop. So I've got some card files right here. Let's take the Jack of Clubs. Oops, take the Jack of Clubs and load it in here. And once that is done loading, you can push this X to close the upload file. Now you'll notice in my list of files over here, I have a new file, which is that clubs file. The name for it is a little long, so I'm going to just click this little down arrow next to it and rename it to club. Notice I'm going to keep the dot whatever extension. This is .png, sometimes it's .jpeg. I'm going to keep that. And then just simplify the name here. I'll call it club, not PNG. Okay, so I'm going to keep that open just so I can remember that file name if I need to. And now let's work in our sketch. There's a couple things we're going to need to do. We're going to load the image file into the memory of our program so that we can then display it. In order to load it into the memory, we need to reserve a spot in memory for this file. And so we'll create declare a variable to store this image file in. So let's call it in our program let card. And you could, of course, name that whatever you want. But the let keyword is telling JavaScript to reserve a place in memory and call that place card. We haven't loaded anything into it yet. All it is a named spot in the memory. So now, before, these two functions are built in for us here, but there's actually a function we want to run before all this to load this image in, because we want this image to be loaded before anything else happens in our program. So we're going to have to handwrite a new function here called preload. Make sure you type it just like this with the parentheses and the curly brace, and inside that preload function we will say card gets load image, and then quotes, and this is where we put this image file name that we had here. So say club.png. So we've created a variable, and then we've loaded that image into the variable, this reserved spot in the memory of the program. Okay, so let's do file, save, and play our sketch, but nothing happens. It looks the same. That's because all we've done is loaded the image into memory. We haven't actually displayed it yet. So now we need to tell P5 to display our image. So I'm going to come down here to the draw function. Let's just get rid of that semicolon. And in the draw function, the function call to display an image is image, open parentheses, close parentheses, and then we're going to write some stuff inside those parentheses. So take a second to think about what might we need to write in here to display the image. What does P5 want to know if we tell it to display an image? There's three things we have to tell P5. We have to tell P5 first the place where it can find that image. So we've already loaded it into memory at this named location called card. And so first we have to tell P5, here's where you go to find the image I want you to load. And then The next thing we have to tell it is where we want it to be displayed. So on the screen, so these will be X, Y coordinates. I don't have variables for those right now, so I'll have to just do actual numbers, 200, 200. Should put it in the center of the screen maybe, but we will see. Let's see what happens now. We can do File, Save, and push the play button. And hey, there's our Jack. I'm going to close the file browser because we don't need it anymore. And there's our Jack image. Perfect.